Again with the session of Adab Al Mufrad, character building through the teachings of Imam Al Bukhari, as has been taught, has been recorded to us and brought to us by Imam Al Bukhari in his book Al Adab Al Mufrad, wherein he discusses the beautiful character building of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when we talk about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, subhanallah, the first hadith which we are going to go through today, عن جرير رضي الله تعالى عنه قال ما رآني رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم منذ أسلمت إلا تبسم في وجهي. Subhanallah. Today's topic is smiling. Jarir ibn Abdullah radiallahu ta'ala anhu says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, since I accepted Islam, whenever I saw him, whenever he looked at me, he would always smile at me. Subhanallah. And this, when we see someone, people shouldn't see us and, we're so stressed out and we're so upset, and when people see us, they also get upset or feel down as well. We should be such people that when people see us, they become overjoyed and happy. We should be smiling always at people, be smiling at people. We learn about the beautiful aspect of smiling from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And not only did he encourage smiling or command us or tell us to smile, and he motivated us to smile a lot by mentioning various ahadith when we learn how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam encouraged smiling, and how smiling is also a form of charity. أن تلقى أخاك بوجه طلق, that you meet your Muslim brother or sister in faith with a bashful, with a cheerful, with a happy face. So we should be people that are always carrying with us a happy and joyful and cheerful face. Now, we may think that, what about, you don't know what I'm going through, and I'm going through difficulties in my life, and I'm going through certain tribulations, and, I don't have time to smile. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, let's look at his life. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, first of all, he tells us, أشد الناس بلاء الأنبياء ثم الأمثل فالأمثل, that the severest of people that are tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with difficulties are the Anbiya, the prophets of Allah sallallahu wasallam alayhim ajma'in. And so Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa himself, he was born an orphan, didn't have a father from birth. He's 6 years old and his mother passes away. Can you imagine the traumatic effect, the psychological traumatic effect on a child losing his mother, the only parent, in such a young infant age? And then the only shelter he has, or the only father figure he had, was his grandfather Abdul Muttalib. So he goes to stay with his grandfather, and his grandfather also dies, passes away. And then he is taken into the care of his uncle Abu Talib, who nurtures him and brings him up. But soon, the whole of society turns against him. The place that he was born in, the whole society goes against him. They leave no stone unturned in trying to hurt him and whoever listens to him or bees with him or befriends him. And so everyone associated to him also is subject to torture and violence and ridicule and abuse, all because of him, because of believing in him and being with him. So one is, if a person is going through difficulty or is subjugated to abuse himself or herself, but then if all that person's loved ones and those people around them that are the source of community for them, they too are subjugated just because of being with you and listening to you or associating with you. Can you imagine the effect of that? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam such a vast and such a enormous responsibility and task, that he is given the responsibility of delivering the message of Allah and delivering and making such effort in this world that the whole of mankind and jinkind till the end of Qiyamah can be granted Iman and can be protected and safeguarded from the fire of Jahannam and granted admittance into Jannah. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is given a very lofty title and responsibility of being sent as a mercy for the entire universe, and then to personify that and to make sure to go about his day-to-day life, whereby he is himself is not only a mercy to the people around him, but the animals and the environment and every single thing around him, not only in his life but to all the way till the end of time. And so this responsibility and this burden, and then on top of that, the difficulty upon difficulty, the poverty that they went through at the beginning, a few initial years, the abuse they were subjugated towards, the torture they were subjugated towards, his own family members turning against him, his own people driving him out of his homeland and his beloved city of Mecca. His own daughter is stabbed and dies as a result of the stab wound. His firstborn son dies in infancy. He loses his child, he's lost his parents, he's lost his community, he's lost his home, he's lost everything. Every single situation that sometimes we feel that we're going through certain difficulties because my parents have passed away, or my siblings have passed away, or my children have passed away, or I am no longer, my wife has passed away, my husband has passed away, and so his wife is also, who was his, his backbone and support since the time where he received nubuwah, all the way till when she too leaves this world, his uncle leaves this world, everything around him was very testing for him. Right till the end of his life, he went through difficulty upon difficulty, tribulation upon tribulation, and this is exactly what it meant by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, "Ashaddun nasi bala'an al-anbiya thumma al-amthal fal-amthal." The severest of people that are tested with the severest of tests and tribulation by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the prophets of Allah, and then al-amthal fal-amthal, those who are closest in likelihood. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is subjugated to all of this difficulty in his life. And sometimes his worry and concern of his responsibility and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent him to do and his job description, it is sometimes affecting him so much that Allah has to console him and say, فَلَا يَحْزُنْ قَوْلُهُم. Whatever they're saying about you, don't become upset by what they're saying about you. Or Allah has to console him and say, إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَن يَشَاءُ. Hidayah and guidance is in Allah's hand. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is consoling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. Most definitely, very soon, your Lord will give you something that will cause you satisfaction and happiness. And he's been consoled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Quran. Jibreel alayhi salam and the angels are having to come and console him. The Sahaba say that when we would sit with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the sound that would emit out of the worry and concern that would burn in his heart would physically emit from his body, and the sound would come like as though when water is being boiled, that water that emits from boiling water, the similar sound would be emitting from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Despite all this, what did the Sahaba say? Whenever we saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was always smiling. He was always smiling. Whenever he talked, he smiled. Whenever he was sat, he smiled. Jarir over here says, ما رآني رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم منذ أسلمت إلا تبسم في وجهي. That Rasulullah, whenever he saw me, he would smile at me. He was always smiling. So we learn over here, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, despite everything that we mentioned just a snapshot of the difficulties and tribulations that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went through in his life. A very small snapshot in a few minutes, 2-3 minutes. And from his whole 63-year life, we gave you a small snapshot from birth till the point he left his world. We could have mentioned so many other examples also, but a small snapshot to understand the difficulty and the level of difficulty, the severity of the difficulty which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had to endure in this worldly life. Yet, what was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's default state? Always smiling. Always smiling. That he would smile at others. Whenever someone would see him, he would smile at them. He'd make them feel good. And that's why he also taught this and encouraged this to the Sahaba. And تَلْقَى أَخَاكَ بِوَجْهٍ طَلِقٍ. That you meet your sibling in faith with a bashful and cheerful face. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant me, you and every single one of us the ability to try and smile always. Not frown and always be so, sad or gloomy or dull. Generally, we live in a society where we look on the street, we look on the public transport, we look everywhere, everyone's frowning with dull faces, maybe they may be going through difficulties, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the difficulties easy for them. But generally the default of our community and our society is everybody's always got a dull face. Why do we have to be people that carry dull faces? Let us carry cheerful faces, joyful faces. Let us always be happy. Let us bring about happiness within our lives, within our homes, within our communities, within our societies. Let us smile and let us talk while smiling. Let us smile at others. Let us spread smiles. And with spreading smiles, let's spread salam also. And we're spreading this peace and happiness. And inshallah, through us, if one person, their stress levels go down, their nerves go down, or they feel better just because we smiled at them, that too itself is an amazing act of charity and a very, very rewarding act. This is further to acting upon the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me the ability, give all of us the ability to always smile. Always smile. And this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, part of his character was. His beautiful character, his noble character, his perfected character, his excellent character, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swore an oath by and described in the Quran as a very lofty and great character. So Rasulullah was also sent, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ, I was sent to perfect noble character. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself perfected the character by showing to us how to be in society and in our communities. And then he further to that, he encouraged us and he taught us through his beautiful words and actions also. And this was brought to us by the Sahaba. So this hadith that we just read, the lesson from this hadith, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would always smile. Would always smile. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us people who smile. The next chapter, Bab al-Dhahik. الضحك عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أقل الضحك فإن كثرة الضحك تميت القلب. Now this is another spin to this same topic of maybe smiling, but sometimes when we're joking and we're laughing and we're giggling and we're enjoying ourselves, sometimes we go from one extreme to the other extreme. And this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is trying to tone down within us. That we are not people that have extremes in our life. We are people of moderation. So, yes, we always smile, but to excessively laugh every single time. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives certain people, they are at such a spiritual low that everything's a joke for them. Everything, they just have to laugh at every single thing that comes across them. They're just laughing at everything and joking at everything, and everything is just a joke and a laugh. And this excessive laughing, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have when a person is happy or cheerful, we were talking about up till now, we talked about smiling. Majority of time Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would always smile. And this is in Arabic, it's called tabassum, ibtisam, to smile. And then you have dhahik, which is a laughter, which doesn't necessarily have to emit any sound, or does not necessarily have to have our mouth opened wide. And then you have something which is more than laughter or worse than laughter, which is worse than dhahik, which is qahqaha. Qahqaha is when a person goes ha 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 and they laugh with their mouth wide open and they laugh very loudly and excessively. And this is extremely discouraged in Islam. Extremely discouraged. Because it is not of a to laugh in such a manner is not very friendly or good for a person's character. A person may be seen by others, and if someone laughs like that, it may be considered as disrespectful or inappropriate, and a person's dignity would and a person's dignity will be downtrodden if a person is going to be excessively always rolling in laughter in such laughter called qahqaha. So we should avoid qahqaha. And then when it comes to dhahik, general laughter, then here and there, we laugh, we joke around, we play around, we have some jokes and we laugh. Yes, of course, we can do that. But always laughing or continuously laughing or laughing at everything that happens, this is not something that should be befitting a Muslim. And in the hadith over here, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, reduce your laughter. Reduce your laughter. فَإِنَّ كَثْرَةَ الضَّحِكِ Because excessively laughing, tumitul qalb, it kills the heart. Our spirituality is dampened down and it's killed. Our spirituality is destroyed by excessive laughing. Excessive laughing. That doesn't mean that it's haram to laugh or it's bad to laugh. No, it's okay. We can laugh here and there, be cheerful, have a joke around, do whatever. But excessively laughing, Rasulullah is saying, he didn't say over here, don't laugh. He says, reduce your laughter. Don't laugh all the time. Don't always be someone who's laughing all the time at every single little thing, always laughing around and everything's a joke. No, reduce your laughter because كثرة الضحك تميت القلب. Excessive laughing destroys the heart and the spirituality. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to bring about this moderation. So we should always smile, but when it comes to laughing, only when it's necessary and in a small amount. And it was very rare to find amongst the pious and amongst the Sahaba or amongst the the elite Sahaba and then also amongst the Prophets and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that they would emit sounds all the time when they were laughing. Generally, when they would laugh in a way where it does not emit any sound, or their mouth doesn't open very too wide open, or it would generally just be a elongated smile, a bit more than a normal smile, and maybe it may have a bit of movement. But it wouldn't be something which would be something that would fall under the category of qahqaha, which we explained at the beginning. So remember, there's three categories. You have tabassum or ibtisam, which is smiling. Then you have dahik, which is general laughter. And then you have qahqaha, which is that type of laughter where our mouth is wide open and we're emitting sounds like hyenas or like other animals, or we're just emitting sounds and we're making a lot of noise and it doesn't sound very pleasant and it's not very appropriate as per a Muslim's dignity. And as such, so we should avoid qahqaha at all costs. When it comes to dhahik, general laughter, we should reduce laughter to only the necessary moments, because this can make our spirituality dampen down. But we should not that shouldn't dampen our mood and be uncheerful and be always sad or upset or frowning with a dull face. No, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as in this beautiful ahadith we learn, Rasulullah sallallahu would always be smiling and he would smile at everyone around him. So let us also bring about a culture of smiling. And when we were small, we used to have these t-shirts and these accessories which were made printed and advertised, smile, it's sunnah. And it's a beautiful concept, smile, it's sunnah. What a beautiful slogan. Smile, it's sunnah. So let us carry this message forward, that we want to smile all the time, because smiling is sunnah, but we want to reduce our laughter, and we want to avoid that type of laughter which emits too much sound and it dampens down our spirituality. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to act upon these beautiful teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to inculcate and adopt these beautiful characteristics and traits of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam into our lives, and then we can bring forth the beautiful character of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam into the ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower His mercy on the ummah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala resurrect us in the next life with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and enable us all to drink from the fountain, from the hands of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi.